showing like how I'm like uploading these videos, and I definitely upload always as public, but you see I have like kind of 2 views, and I go there and I watch, like, first of all, like it appears like I couldn't upload, but I still like continued, and then I'm going to show how these videos all like end as being public videos. Here it is. Okay, like let's pick up like this, and who is watching this, probably like these tortures, or it is counted maybe what I was that I openly twice. You see, it is private. It is always private. I mean, whatever I kind of upload, I just noticed like that my old videos, I would be getting like before like 500 like views or so on. I have 2 views, then I have 5 views, then I have 11 views, I have 5 views, you know, and whatever I upload, like even Zuckerberg's sex robot, I noticed I would be having 250 views. No, I had like 54 views, Zuckerberg's robot. I thought that I have 200 views. I mean that I placed like Zuckerberg's sex robot, and I have 25 views, 45 views. I mean, this is pretty much unbelievable. You know, people always open videos about Zuckerberg, and I have 54 views. And I noticed this, like, and what I noticed also before, like, I would be always placing my videos public. Why would I be placing them private? If I would private, I wouldn't place them at all. And I would be coming back, and they would be in private mode. And of course, if they are in private mode, nobody can see them. So no wonder that YouTube, that is owned by Google, is manipulating this. Why? Because actually, Google employees also tortured me due to these secretly implanted nanotechnologies. In April 2016, they almost choked me. And I remember it was like a night when I had a birthday. My birthday is April 22nd, and that was the night between April 21 and April 22nd. I was sleeping in bed, and they choked me so much due to the Motorola strangulation nanotechnology that I felt like a spirit leaving my body. Really, like my spirit left my body. I was sleeping, and I said, "Oh no, 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 no! You're not going to do this." And at that moment, like, I did wake up, but before I did wake up, I could hear my deceased father screaming. And this is a very interesting story. Now I am just going to tell something about my father, actually. When military started to torture me, that was July 15, 2011, after I wanted to write, like, actually to this vice president in Blue Shield of California, Jackson, I don't remember her name, about Paul Markovich, actually what he did do to me. And because my old computers were hacked, Markovich could see this. Not that Markovich did see this, there were analysts who were working like on me all the time. I imagine this is like a technology, they are creating robot. But this is like a serious project, that is $1 million worth project. And where are you going to find the brain that you're going to torture for 11 years now? How much can you put, like, what is the money that you can put on the torture? Billions of dollars. Because my life and everybody else's life is not worth that much, but torture is. And what I wanted to say, yeah, when I was like in Oakland, believe me or not, my father died 2005, exactly when I was working at Blue Shield of California. And I didn't go like to the funeral because I was like in the United States and so on, and they like couldn't wait for me and so on. And 2011, when this torture started, because I was thinking actually that Paul Markovich can talk to me like after the surgery 2007, because there was something I couldn't explain what, you know, it can happen, like you know, this is like a twilight zone, this like things that people cannot understand, this is esoteric things. And I was thinking it was like a sick kind of And somehow, like, I don't know, like, I also like was watching the movie In Her Eyes. You know, when people are hit, actually had like a brain trauma, and they start to know about each other. And I really like had a brain trauma because I was involved in an accident. I was like in a fast track, 2004 summer. I was in the fast track, you know, that people like driving 80 miles an hour, and I was standing like in traffic jam. Suddenly it was stop in that fast track, and I was standing there, and I could see the truck coming, and at the speed of 80 maybe an hour, a truck in my mirror coming directly to me. And luckily I was driving like a Jeep Grand Cherokee, so it was robust. What I could do at that point, just grab my wheel and steering wheel so that I don't like hit the car above. And I could see him, and there was like a huge amount of dust coming out of that truck. And because the bumper was from plastic, and I went like to the doctor's office because I had problems. I had a huge concussion, and I would be having like a huge like a problems, and I would be exactly traveling on the plane. I would have like a huge pressure in my head. Why I'm telling this now? Because later, when my husband went to the garage, they took, but much later, I don't know what he did do, like inspection of the car or maybe some problem. They took like this bumper, and construction was completely like smashed. I didn't have, of course, like a cent from insurance company. I had to pay like my bills, like a doctor's bill. When I went there and complained about the fact that I had the problems with my with coordination and so on, he said that is nothing that cannot be like that was Kaiser all, and Kaiser will be having role in this also, like a plot. And in torture, and so I stopped there. But this dust, that could have been actually some type of nano dust, and this nano dust is extremely dangerous. And actually what I wanted to say I forgot now because my brain is really damaged. What is done, I said like I have the feeling that my brain is damaged. I would start to talk about something and I would completely like forget what I was talking about. But in any case, nano dust is extremely like dangerous, and I wanted to talk. I wanted to tell that I, for a long time, was thinking that me talking with Paul Markovich during the night, it was some type of esoteric issue, you know. I didn't have any idea that I would be implanted with nanotechnologies, and now, of course, I know that I'm implanted with nanotechnology because these are all these nanocrystals that I have in my ears, and nanocrystals, strangulation technology, and whatever, and I placed this like on internet, and I noticed just like that, oh yeah, I was talking about my father, yeah, exactly, that was very interesting, and this esoteric issue, and then, so I was thinking that I had some type of strange connection with Paul Markovich. He is like a Croatian, his father is Croatian or whatever, you know, and I would see like a vision kind of my father, you know. It's not like that I see like a father, my father like standing here or so on. No, it is just like a being on the sky, so to say. And he came and told me following. These, you don't understand what type of vultures these people are. And your Paul, saying so, your Paul, of course in my language, is the biggest vulture of all of them. And interesting enough, he put the finger on his mouth, telling me kind of not to talk. Was that my imagination? I don't know. But in any case, you know, I didn't believe like that much in this like stuff. And I said like I didn't have any explanation. Why would I be talking? Why would I be tortured actually by Paul Markovich? Why would I be interrogated by military and so on? But this is what he told me. Now, recently, when they're activated, like all these like nano implants, and I would be chasing, I don't know even how I'm alive right now. They were chasing to incapacitate me, put me somewhere like in closed institution to continue to create their robot Sophia and their other robots, like military robots. I was in Acapulco, And they horrible hypnotized me. And they hypnotized me. I know now why. Because just recently, yesterday, I did like put like a month of hydrogen peroxide 3% in my ears and cleaned like a ear so I can see all crystals, and they are very hard, so I cannot take them out. But I was in Acapulco, and I was heavily hypnotized, but even it was still better than in San Jose, in Silicon Valley, in California, where I live, because there was no red substance. There was some substance that was compatible with my sensors, and that Elon Musk used for his Dragon spaceship, exploration of space, and colonization of Mars. Then I'm going to create another video because I even photograph red substance. I photograph orange red window that would be like radiating all night, every night since April. Every night there will be a red window across my apartment that would be creating some stinky air that would like suffocate me. And when I was, but it is about my father, when I was like in Acapulco, I could see him and my aunt, also like kind of a vision, and they were very concerned about me, and they were constantly like there. I didn't see them like as a people. I just had felt their presence somehow. And at the moment when I found first solution for hypnosis, which means I used something, and that helped me dehypnotize completely. Not completely, but dehypnotize so that I didn't have any more these problems. You know, you're hypnotized all the time. Why? Because these crystals are creating some type of aura, some type of energy field around my body. So when I use like a pendulum to try like to access my chakras are dead. I don't have any of, like, for example, I use these chakras, and I know, like, because these pendulum, and I know that I had like be having like a rather healthy energy field. I didn't have energy field anymore, and they will be using frequency of these like nano implants that they know. And they would hypnotize me, because there is also hypnosis, frequency hypnosis, I think 432 megahertz or so. And when I found the cure for this hypnosis, I could see my father and my aunt hugging each other, and I could see their backs, and they were leaving with relief. And my sister, she was really very connected and loved my father very much. And she said when he died, after he died, she cried a lot. And one night he came, and she could see him like in a light. And he came to her and said, "You don't need to cry. I am fine. It is quite fine here. And I don't miss on anything." And my sister said he was relieved, and he was looking very proud. My father was very nice person, actually. And he was looking very relieved, and he was looking very proud. And she, in dream, wanted to hug him. And he said, "No, I belong to this world, and you belong to that world." And I mean, I was really touched. And my father, actually, he was like kind of tired of this life. And he said, "No, I don't want to live anymore." And I think like this is one of yoga principles, you know, you don't hang that much on this life. Because this is one, no attachments, no desires. And then you are like fine. Of course you are fine. You are Jiva Mukta. They say like you are like a living dead practically, because you don't have any desires, and all desires are produced by our bodies. And because all desires are produced by our bodies, and when we die, we just get rid of this body, and we are just a spirit that we actually created during our life. This is our spirit. If the spirit is pure, you don't need to worry about anything, because that is the spirit that is going to live in eternity. And I want just to stress one thing, that there is something very good that I got from all this torture. Knowing all these animals who are CEOs, who are presidents, who are generals, who are whomever they are, who always said, do you know who I am? Like Paul Markovich would say, do you know who my wife is during the night? She is like the daughter of Vice President of DuPont Corporation, Indian. And I mean, he is white person, she is Indian. And she was the daughter of this DuPont Corporation who is actually producing this nano dust and nano sprays and nano. All these chemicals that are probably used to also poison the people around. And he would say to me, do you know who she is? Kamala Harris would say, do you know what might do I have? Colin the Grabar Kitarovich would be saying, I am president, I am your president, I am your president. You have to answer this question. I didn't have any idea who that woman was. She would be coming like during the night and requesting me under hypnosis to do, and these implants to do some stuff. Well, knowing all these people, I got such appreciation for my family. I couldn't believe that I was so lucky to live with such beautiful, wonderful people. Maybe they were not so wonderful, but compared to these animals, to these torturers, to these brutes, they are all coming from the fairy tale. I visited like my sister, she lives in Germany, in Croatia, and very interesting thing. She has huge apartment, very expensive apartment here in Croatia. I think her neighbor is like Janica Kostelić. I mean, it is very expensive because she is a rich woman. And I noticed following thing, that she didn't spend at all like a time here in Croatia. She lives in Germany and she has a house in Bosnia, that is my parents' house. I was actually very surprised. I mean, it's a fantastic apartment and so on. Why? Because she doesn't feel comfortable here. I just realized that her neighbors are actually bullying her. And so it is. I mean, I got huge appreciation. She lives actually in this parents' house with our old neighbors. You know, some of them, like after the war, they fled at Bosnia, and it's very nice there. Like a house is near the river, like just like you open the window and it is the river practically. It's just like a street, and then it immediately the river. And this part of the river kind belonged to us because I was like always like going in the spring like to clean like these like banks and so on. And she feels comfortable there, and I went there because she got a baby, and it was christening of the baby. And I saw all these people with whom I did grow up. Some of them are illiterate. Some of them, like I didn't remember most of them. How could I? After so many years, I wanted to hug them all, to say, ah, what wonderful people you are. But what luck I had to live my life this way, to know all these my family members who were clean people, decent people, nice people, and everything else, just because I did have opportunity to know all these people who say, do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? Presidents, generals, because I was used for as top military robot, senators. Wow. Thank you, my parents. Thank you.